Hello and welcome to this review of LEGO Masters Season 4, Episode 1. I'm your host, Mark. We've got Randy and Daniel.
On this wonderful Flannel Friday.
Yes, Flannel Friday.
I am so happy Flannel is back. It's September, October. We're here. It's good.
So cozy.
A lot of fun to be had. But we're going to be talking about the first episode of LEGO Masters Season 4. We've all seen it. I missed the watch party because I was feeling poorly. We'll have another one in a few episodes' time.
We all had ding-dongs without you, Mark.
Yeah, there was...
You gotta rub it in, don't you?
No leftovers.
Yeah, none for you, sorry. We ate them all. Every single one.
Anyway, that tragedy aside, the first episode was pretty entertaining. It was all about Brick Lake introducing all the competitors, all 12 teams, new faces, new names to remember, new builds to see. But let's go ahead and talk about the episode itself. High-level thoughts. Who wants to go first? Looking at Daniel.
Randy wants to go
first.
I'll go first. I love the challenge. I think it was really fun. I like
Boats.
adding in the water to it. I think was really fun. I immediately thought, ninth grade physics class in the build. I feel like that would have been my first thing is like tipping in the whole thing.
Low center of gravity.
Low center of gravity. Yeah.
They had a pre-built boat hull at least,
Yes.
and they could work with that. They didn't want to go too heavy. I think that really sped up the episode because if they had to build a floating Lego creation, that would have been a lot harder. So I'm glad this is it.
Yeah, flotation was not the problem. Stability was the problem for a lot of teams.
Managing weight.
Pontoons were plenty buoyant, but maintaining your balance was an issue for some teams.
Lego gets heavy very quickly, so you got to think about that.
You take those turns too fast and you're Tokyo drifting around the lake.
That was very entertaining.
Did they get a chance to, I wonder, to practice with that before they
Probably not. In my experience, no practice.
It looked about like the demolition derby, because some teams just plowed into the far wall and sheared off all their balconies.
The one figure just boop.
Yeah. We'll definitely get to that in a minute. But so Daniel, your high level thoughts, enjoyed the episode overall?
It was good overall. I think it was a nice balance. I was glad that we weren't blowing things up in the first episode. It was just a nice build challenge with an interesting parameter like we talked about with the flotation and tippage. So some interesting parameters there and kept it nice and simple for the first one, I think.
Yeah.
A fun theme.
Yeah. Overall, enjoyed the episode quite a bit. Brick Lake, they're trying to enjoy that late summer vibes on the boat. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. This challenge was pretty similar, in my opinion, to the Season 2 opener, which was Parade. So you're building on a similar-ish platform. I think with the Parade, there was more motion involved.
Yes.
You had to build a certain amount of motion.
It was a requirement.
Yeah. And then it was easier to build on a stationary thing that was just being pulled around, and there was no sinking aspect to it. So this is a little different. I will say, I was taking notes. The time was only 10 hours, which is less than each of the other 3 season openers. You had 15 in Season 1, 14 in Season 2, my season, and then Season 3 had 13 hours.
So it's steadily diminished.
So now it's 10 so it jumped down. It's like it's been stair steps, and now it's like, the last step is lower.
I wonder if Morgan or somebody still has their spreadsheet of like different challenge length times. It'll be interesting to see if this season overall will be trending downward in times. It seems like they're trying to shorten production times to probably save costs.
Rounding it down continuously. However, I think that the amount of building hours was the same, even if the episode count is getting longer. So it's shorter episodes, a few more episodes. So it's interesting. Yeah. But we'll be able to track that as more episodes happen.
I think it's okay to be shorter for the first episodes because you have more teams and it doesn't take that long to figure out people's build quality enough to judge them for the first few weeks. You can kind of tell who the ones are that are not quite on the same level.
Yeah. This definitely caught a few builders by surprise, and that was fun to see. I do think, looking at some builders who were definitely surprised, Brad and Mike, for a lot of the episode, they had what looked like a stack of bricks on their build, but it didn't look like that was part of their idea. That was more of a measurement. And that's what me and Steven and Zach and Wayne and other people did. Yeah. If we had a minimum height requirement, we would build something to remember that's how high we need to go. And I think that was happening here. And I think that's why we got some taller, especially in the back of these boats. So that's my estimation on that one. But
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned already, I think the motors were optional in the boats. So it was probably like if you wanted to go extra, you could do something. All the teams did a little spin motion, upright, all the same. You had the dragons going around, you had the little fusion orb going around, a few things.
All the people with their many, the stock.
Everything was very simple.
Some are more effective than others.
So, and when we're still talking about overall stuff, I would say that I wasn't like amazed by any of the builds. There was some nice things going on. I liked, like, for example, the big ukuleles on the side of the boat. I thought that was kind of fun. A lot of the ideas were pretty interesting or unique and really kind of definitely captured the personality of some of these teams so early on. But what did you guys think about the overall build quality, especially compared to other season openers in the past 3 seasons? Let's start with Randy.
Nothing stands out as like, oh my gosh, that was so cool or
there
so
wasn't a
unique
Zach
or
and Wayne.
Yeah. you got to see like teams' personalities, but nothing was super wow.
I was kind of like,
yeah,
they're trying. I don't know. I'm very biased. But,
so. You can kind of tell that I would say that the pool of talent that they have to pull from for LEGO Masters contestants is kind of diminishing.
It's a very specific requirement for 7 weeks of free time or more, and then 2 people who like to build Lego, they're willing to do this, drop their jobs.
It is week 1, so I'm sure talents will emerge more as they progress and kind of get used to the structure of the challenges. But I mean, I think there were some ones that were definitely stood out better than others, but I don't know if you want to wait till we
we're ready to start moving into the teams here. I think I have the list.
Yeah, we want to run through all of them?
Here we go. All right, and I have pictures over here if we need to remember.
We're still learning all the names. All the names.
You can actually go to Lego.com and then search Lego Masters, and if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll have all the teams listed and some of their information. So that's what we're going off of because we watched the episode, but it goes by very quickly.
It does. It does.
And
some teams only get about 30 seconds of screen time in the whole episode, but that's just the way it is now that they have, what is it, like 12 teams or something?
Yeah.
Whereas season 1 was only 8
less
or 10
than
or something.
10, I think. Yeah. So season 2 had 12 teams. Season 3 technically had 13 because they dropped in Ethan and Dom at episode 3 or 4, I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is not too far off, but it still is a lot of teams. So according to the list on Lego Masters, I think this is mostly alphabetical here. We got Aubry and Brian, and they seem like the typical Lego Masters viewing audience demographic, the family, the photogenic family. Definitely shop at Hobby Lobby.
My comment last night was they were doing their little like B-roll footage of their family life, and it was like them playing in their yard with their kids or something. I was like, they look like a stock photo.
That's what we all were like. They look like the picture.
I'm sure they're delightful people, but they just look a little stereotypical. I know
it looks like stock art.
But their build was the pineapple vacation boat, which was a fantastic idea. I think that it was pretty well executed. The pineapple was a little square.
Yeah.
But they didn't falter. They didn't falter. They just did their idea. They got a little bit of critique. You didn't see any judging at all this episode. It was basically like maybe half a sentence per boat.
That's why in these early episodes, I think I say this probably every season, but in these early episodes you can tell when a team is only focused on for about 30 seconds that they're fine. It's the teams that they keep coming back to saying, they're
Brad and Mike,
they haven't built very much, or their concept isn't very clear. They're either going to be top 2 or bottom 2. They're focusing on them so that you remember them when you get to the end of the episode. If they're not covering them very much, then they're fine. Middle of the pack.
With this many episodes introducing everything, the amount of time that people get to be seen is a lot more drastic. So it's like we definitely saw a lot from the bottom 2 teams in this episode. It's becoming more obvious when you see it's like hopefully as we pare down a little bit, it'll be less obvious. I don't like giving it away.
Yeah. It's not as much of a surprise when you get to the end.
We didn't even get to see some of the boats go in the water because the episode time. I was like, wait.
No, there were ones that they would show, and then they didn't even show the water test. Just like, okay, I guess it was okay.
You're like, okay, they're fine.
It's a lot of teams. If each of them got a minute, it adds up. That's part of the episode. Allison and Melanie, and they were the music octopus build, which I actually enjoyed quite a bit. So, what did you guys think about their build?
Their build was good. I think it showed strong kind of character creation, which is a really important part for LEGO Masters sculpting and character creation. Using those mixel joints for the squid arms is very classic. So, but that's the kind of stuff they like on LEGO Masters. Those nice, bright, vibrant colors and fun characters.
Absolutely. What did you think about that team rating?
I love the octopus. I thought it was great. It was fun. It seemed like it fit their personality too.
They only got one bit of critique from Jamie, and that was if only the ukuleles were switched around, so that it was more like a wedge shape versus like a kind of a ramp. So I think that just a little bit of composition.
Because it hit a lot of their build from the side. I mean, you couldn't see it at all.
It was boxed in a little bit. So. But I think that a few fixes there, and they could be a pretty good team if they get it all together. So, next team, Brad and Mike. We feel bad for Brad and Mike.
Gone but not forgotten.
Bless their heart.
They had the Bear Shack boat. Very unusual name choice. They were going for a VW style, kind of like a Volkswagen
vibe. You only read that way if you knew that that's what they were going for. Otherwise, it sort of just looked like a glass enclosed kind of greenhouse sort of thing.
it didn't have any curvature like a VW bus had.
It's
just very
pretty clear
blocky.
Brad and Mike really had some idea and execution issues, especially early on. I think they quoted like 3 hours in, we don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
And that's always sad to see, because it's like, you've got these ideas, but you just have to settle on one and commit to it and get working. But unfortunately, we've seen it happen to countless teams through the seasons.
Yeah. This is nothing new to Lego Masters.
And usually it happens later as people get more, mentally burned out and kind of frustrated. They just can't focus on picking an idea. But in episode 1, I think it was just sort of a shock kind of getting thrown into it like that.
And we're a little sad that Brad and Mike have left, especially early on. We'd like to see more teams stay for longer. But I do know that they later collabed on a build for BrickCon. It was this big, everyone is awesome, like city display. They did very well at that convention. So I think they felt bad about kind of going out like a punk in the first episode, and so they wanted to prove that yes, we can build if we have time, we're relaxed, and so they did pretty well. You can find their Instagrams online. I think Lego Masters actually follows most of the contestants as soon as they're announced.
Great. Okay.
You can go check them out. But next team we had was Christopher and Robert.
Christopher! Oh,
A.K.A. Duck Bricks from YouTube.
Oh.
He loves...
Christopher!
We're going to make fun of
Hello,
Duck Bricks.
my name is Christopher, and I'm a Lego builder. I have the biggest collection of Lego. I have over 7,000 sets.
This guy needs a radio show. He needs a radio show.
No, he's on YouTube. He doesn't need it. He's on his own platform.
And then they made the theme of their party boat about a pitch meeting.
Yeah.
He screams like Silicon Valley, young, hip business. Entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't stand that person, to be honest. I'm just going to say it.
He's a controversial
I know he's a character.
Yep. He has a lot of fans on YouTube. He's well known for his Bionicle references and videos. Garrett, who works here, is a huge fan of Duck Bricks.
Yeah.
And I was excited to have him on the panel and talking about it, but he wasn't feeling well, so he's home today. But so eventually we'll get Garrett on and he can share his thoughts on Duck Bricks, because he did survive this episode. Their build wasn't too bad. What do you guys think about their little pitch meeting build? The idea is hilarious and weird, but...
When they said the idea, I was kind of, but then when they did it, I thought it was funny. When they were dancing around holding the money, all the business people, I actually thought the execution was better.
Their movement feature was good, for sure. The pagoda was nice. It was very well detailed, but as a result, it ended up looking very small. I think they probably had one of the smallest builds, probably out of anybody.
I don't understand the unicorns on the front.
That was kind of confusing.
I was like, why are there 2 unicorns? Maybe I feel like dragons?
Maybe it's a tech or entrepreneur
maybe
slang.
It's a
I don't know.
Maybe it's a reference we don't know.
They got zero time to present or get judged, so we don't really know.
It was like unicorn, like pool floaties and stuff. It was just a party thing, but it didn't seem to have anything to do with the pitch party or
I will say this is one of the more memorable ideas. Because if you think about it, it was just so off the wall, and it did represent them.
Definitely off the wall.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, as far as like telling their own story, I guess so. It still works. So.
It fit them.
But we'll see how if Chris's mannerisms and his YouTube personality is gonna grow on us or really annoy us as the show goes on. We'll see.
Wait, and I feel like we gotta shout out Robert, because poor guy, I forgot he was on the team like the whole episode.
Definitely a little overshadowed.
But that might be how they work. Like maybe that's what works for them. So,
I
shout out Robert.
Lego Masters wants characters like this because they're memorable, but unfortunately it leads to a lot of them being annoying.
And he can run really fast.
He got some running time in, yes.
He's gonna hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You gotta stay hydrated for that running.
That's right.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Okay, so some friends of mine, Kristen and Jordan, they did the big castle boat. So they had a castle, a dragon DJ. It was like a Ren Fair kind of vibe. I like their build a lot. I'm actually good friends with Jordan. I've known him for 12 years. He was the first person to interact with me as an AFOL online, ever. So we've been fast friends ever since. And I also know Chris. He was also in the same castle forum, so I spoke with him many times, shared build ideas. It was great. So I love these guys. I know that Jordan is a pretty capable builder. Chris is more of a minifig guy, so he's not as big on the mock scene, but I'm sure that Jordan is he works as a civil engineer. He's for the DOTT. He designs big bridges and stuff, so he should get the job done.
So if they have technical challenges,
yes, they should nail it. Just doing a few builds leading up to Lego Masters, he was really doing some great stuff. So I have high hopes for them. But what do you think about their castle boat in this episode?
Theirs was my favorite one from this episode. As soon as I saw them doing the Viking shields along the side, I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. with Party Boat, my mind first went to pirates. I was actually surprised nobody did like a pirate party barge or something.
That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Vikings was right there with it. So theirs was my favorite. I think the dragons flying around was very effective. So theirs was my favorite. Now, was there a winner for this episode? I might have stepped out of the
There
room.
was, yes. It would have been the. We'll get to that. It's actually the next one we're talking about. Yeah. So, but this one, I don't think. Was there a top two? I think it was just the one winner.
I think it was just top one.
A winner and then bottom two.
The top one and bottom two.
They were so quick with the end that it really wasn't as kind of savored as much as some other episodes.
Sometimes they start rolling the credits while they're still announcing who's winning or losing.
Yeah, but Castle Boat, very good design, nice techniques, motion. I don't think they got to fully flex their stuff, so we'll hopefully see them do more stuff later if they survive this episode. But next team. The winning team, actually.
The winning team, yep.
Nina and Sam.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Yep, Nina's adorable.
She's so cute together. I love watching them.
They seem really genuine. That's pretty cool.
I like seeing parent-child teams because they have a very wholesome bond.
Absolutely. I know Sam a little bit. He's part of the Canadian AFOL scene, and he does a lot of builds. So it's cool to see him and his mom participate. They also did a great build, I thought. The T-boat was very fun, had a fun little motion, little figures. It was very much speaking to the culture. What did you guys think about the T-boat?
I thought it was so cute. I think the colors were great. It matched their outfits. Like I was like, they coordinated this whole thing together.
Yeah, they
poured the tea.
Careful planning. Yeah. They seemed really nice and energetic when they were talking. So hopefully they last a little bit longer. I know sometimes certain demographics don't do as well on this fast-paced, difficult show, but we'll see how well they do.
They had a lot of nice, details with little tiles and dots and things that were
nice lettering,
really nice coloring. Lettering was another thing
that was
like the perfect litmus test for telling at a quick glance which teams knew their stuff and which teams were maybe not as big
trying
on
their best.
Almost every team did some lettering either for the name of their boat or something, and you could tell which ones were really Lego builders and which ones really were not. So it's an interesting way to kind of get that vibe at a glance in episode 1.
Yep. And then you had Lewis and Alex, who are teachers from Florida, and they had the teacher lounge/party, so they were kind of really focusing on their own, experience. Like, the kids are gone for the summer, yay!
We love our kids except when
the story was good, but I think he was flustered when he said that line because he was like, "Yeah, we love the kids."
Except when we don't see them.
Except when they're not around or something.
Yeah,
it's like he didn't quite say what he meant, but.
Well, Lewis, he speaks English pretty well, but maybe that was factoring into it. I know he's probably Spanish is his first language.
I think it's just like when you're on TV, sometimes you stutter and don't quite say what you mean, because then they showed everyone else's faces who probably have kids that are in school, and they were all like, huh? Wait, what?
You love the kids?
Yeah, you don't love them when they're not around.
Yeah. So I think these guys got glossed over in this episode. You really didn't see them at all.
Yeah.
But their build seemed fine. It had a little spinning sign planet thing up there.
Yeah. I liked all the little tiki torches sort of around the border, so I thought it was nice.
They were safe. They didn't have too much. I don't think we even saw their boat.
No, they were the one I was like, wait, did I miss their boat?
Never hit the water in the show.
I don't think so.
That's actually, honestly, not a bad place to be in the first episode. You're not dangling at the bottom like our next team, Kelly and Emily.
Yeah, so the other bottom two teams. So theirs was, I'm trying to picture.
It was a party boat, and it had they were really focusing on the stacked layers going pretty high.
It was kind of just a few sort of hollow sandwich layers. The top one was like a tennis court.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be kind of centered around their mom's vibe, because that's their team name was the moms, and they always wear pink as they're going to be the thing. And
there was no details.
So the problem, it seemed from the edit. This is the edit. I don't know if this is in the show. They might see this later, but it seemed like Kelly was really trying to focus on the build, and Emily was really having a socialization moment with every other team.
Every other team going, "Oh, I love what you're working on. This looks so good." Kelly was like, "Okay, but this is what we're building."
She was not really looking at the build as much as I think she could have. So that maybe we'll see that in more edits in the future. But anyway, that's just what it appeared to be to me. I don't know. So.
Yeah,
I agree. Can see to an extent. I can understand kind of getting wrapped up in everything that's going on in the production of Lego Masters and not focusing on what you're actually supposed to be working on. But
it's crazy being on set and seeing all the lights, all the cameras, and if you're
I'm sure it's hard to.
If you're a very extroverted person, it's going to be overwhelming. I know as an introverted person, it was overwhelming. It'd be crazy. But I think it was the right call for them to be in the bottom two just because their build really was a little less polished and detailed. They didn't have as many figures.
Their lettering was terrible.
It was very simple on the back.
The lettering
I was sad for that.
Not super great.
Yeah.
But, the lacking details. And, it's one of the things you got to listen to the judges. They came around and they did their little meetings with people, but they were saying it as generic statements. We're really looking for the details on this one.
And they
and you get to the end, and the top of their build is a tennis court, and it only has 2 minifigures. I mean, yes, tennis courts should have 2, but it was just the 2 of them standing there.
There's nothing.
It's a big flat green thing. And Amy's criticism was, I'm seeing too many studs. Cover them with something.
Yeah.
And with only 10 hours to build, you might have to kind of dial back your ideas, and they might have just gotten kind of ambitious. So interesting. But they survived. They didn't get fully eliminated. Unfortunately, Brad and Mike went home this episode, so we'll see how they do. Hopefully, they're able to turn it around. David, a.k.a. Poppy, and Ben. And so I like this team a lot. I like their build a lot, too. Did you guys see that water wheel?
They didn't focus on them for very long, but I liked their concept a lot. With the sort of fusion core, but it was like powering like an old-timey
water wheel.
Steamboat. Yeah, water wheel.
It's super cool.
Very cool.
What'd you think, Randy?
I loved it. I think we spent more time watching their B-reel, which was really cool of them like rebuilding cars, and I love they have this relationship together, and now like Poppy's kind of doing Ben's thing now, like bringing him over to that side, and I love that. But I was like, you just saw their build for such a small amount of time. But
they got glossed over.
Again, it's those first episodes, but I think they're adorable.
Yep.
I like it.
And the next team, I thought this team was pretty adorable too. We got Paul and how do we pronounce her name again? It was
Is it Nalita?
Nalita.
I think so.
Nalita. Okay,
Yeah.
I butchered her name.
We'll continue to listen out for
it.
We got it right.
If we said it wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Leave us a comment if we mispronounced her name.
I love that she doesn't know who anybody is.
She was hilarious.
I love her.
For a hot minute, I couldn't tell if she was just messing with Will Arnett and being like, who's he again? Just to knock him down a couple pegs, or if she's serious.
Yeah, I hope that she was actually messing with him because that's hilarious.
That would be funny. Because that would totally grind his gears, I'm sure.
So they had a Wisconsin cheese boat, which is also a pretty great idea. I think it's fun.
It's unique to the people, unique to their story, and something eye-catching and fun character building.
I think they were wearing yellow the first episode too, so they were just in the yellow mood with their boat and their outfits. So I could definitely tell what the cheese character was in the back. I thought that was a nice focal point. The rest of the build was a little bit, I don't remember too much of it. They didn't get too much screen time, but what did you guys think about the cheese boat overall, Randy?
I love the concept and everything of it. It felt a little bit like it was just a triangle.
A little simplistic.
Yeah, a little simplistic. And I go, but that's really the only thing I remember off of it. I don't remember any other good details.
Well, 10 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, not their fault. Not their fault. From what they showed, that's what I remembered. But they were hilarious to watch them work together.
They were fun.
They were enjoyable to watch on TV.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's okay to have one big memorable kind of centerpiece, even if we did kind of lose track of what was going on with the rest of it. But that large character building and sculpting is just such a huge part of Lego Masters. So it's good that they were kind of showing that off in episode 1.
Exactly, capturing something that's meaningful to them too. Oh, so this is a great team. You got Karen and Amy, and I think Karen likes to go by Mimi, if I'm correct.
So, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. So it would be Mimi and Amy.
She had 28 grandkids or something.
Yes,
she got a whole lot of grandkids.
That's a lot of grandkids.
Yeah,
I think it was 24
was
maybe.
24?
So I'm okay, quick mental math. That's about 5 kids, each having 5 kids.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
That's not small families, not huge families either.
That's a pretty big family,
yeah.
That's overall, that's pretty crazy. But they had a unusual boot boat. It was also yellow, very bricky, very solid.
Very top heavy.
And sank almost immediately.
There's
as
that
soon
physics
as
part. I was like, as they're building, I'm going, ooh, that's a lot of weight.
I think theirs was the only one that they couldn't even set it in the water without it tipping over. Some
Yeah.
other people were able to very gently set it, and then as soon as it started driving, it tipped over. But I think theirs was the only one they couldn't even float.
Yeah,
but they didn't end up in the bottom too.
Yep.
I will say, it's like some of the boot itself was definitely, you could see that they were sculpting. It was a large build. It was colorful. They had a fun story. Lots of, grandma fun.
Yeah.
And then, even if their boat sank immediately, they still had, what could be described as more character than, say, like Brad and Mike, or maybe Kelly and Emily. So it's like, I think that they were safe this episode, even if they definitely miscalculated the weight.
Yeah.
It seemed that the functionality of the boat and whether it succeeded or not was not really any component of the judging. It seems to just be kind of for fun.
Yeah.
Can your build survive its voyage? It doesn't really matter as long as it looks pretty cool.
There are some episodes where that's a very critical component of the judging, but this one seems to be, we can always try and guess at what the actual rules were behind the scene. So it seems like that was not really a factor in this one. Otherwise, they would have made it much more dramatic, and they would have been in the bottom two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Theirs was actually with Transformers. What I think happened, it went from a boot to a yellow submarine.
That's
That's what I think happened.
Exactly.
They took the challenge one step more.
I hope that, unlike some of the other kind of Grandpappy-esque teams, they could last a little longer. We could see more fun stories from them.
I already like the grandmas a lot more than the grandpappy.
Yeah.
Yes. They seemed a fun bunch. So.
They seem younger. Like, I was kind of like, they're grandmas? And, well, they seem younger. Maybe because I'm...
Yeah, you have kids young,
I'm
and
a
your
little
kids have
older than
kids
everybody else
young.
here, so, yeah.
There's young, young
Yeah.
grandparents. Next team we've got from Texas. We got
Is this our
Tim and
last
Tim.
one?
And
Last
this is the last
one.
team, last of 12 teams. And I know Tim and Tim, have for a long time. They're both out in Texas, both great guys, involved in the lugs out there, Brick Rodeo. You can go say hi to them. And they had a Texas party boat, which was pretty fun. They got knocked by the judges pretty sharply for not having enough of a visual, big catch right away. It was a little distracting, according to Amy.
This is one of the only ones I can't really picture.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but I can't really
It had a
picture what this one looked
silo,
like.
and did it have...
Had a bull riding area,
Yeah, bull
had
riding. Did
a
it have
TV room
cows or
below.
something?
It was
Yeah.
just a number of smaller details as opposed to sort
Lots
of
of
a
figures.
bigger feature.
Two
piece.
large green sails, so it was one of the
Okay,
few
I
boats
do
that have
remember the
sails.
sails. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
It
But-
was a lot, and it wasn't color themed well. Like, the sails were green, but nothing else was. Like, nothing really came cohesive, I feel like.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big yellow boat or a big
Yeah.
something else boat. It was a sort of Texas themed boat, and it wasn't like maybe if they did a giant bull or a giant cowboy hat or something, it
Right.
could have been more
You gotta
Texas.
take one
Yeah.
of those things and make it the big thing, and then put the small stuff on top of that. I think
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
the key.
So that maybe just a arrangement of ideas and kind of focusing on that wow factor from afar is
Yeah.
what they were really lacking. But I will
Hopefully
say
they'll pick up on that moving forward.
on the judging again, now that we've gone through all the boats, like some of the teams got some good positives and maybe a little touch of negativity, like Aubry and Ryan at the beginning. There's like, your pineapple's a little square. Jamie was getting them on that.
Yeah.
But then towards like halfway point, it's like, okay, we're running out of time. You get
Right.
half a sentence,
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah.
maybe we'll see your boat sail if it sinks. And then,
Oh, it looks great. So excited to see what you do next. Okay, next team.
and then at the end, the judging was really quick because they were running out of time. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see more next episode. I wish they did hour episodes. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I do too. I would love to see more of the building process and the planning out of it all.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Anyway, I'm just glad Lego Masters is back, though. It's good to see these new teams in action finally. It feels like it's been a long time. I feel like this could have come out in the summer. We would have been just fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here. We made it.
I think
a
I
lot
need to
more
go
to
out
see.
and buy a pair of overalls. I think we're
I know.
bringing
I was gonna
overalls
say,
back.
are you guys gonna do an overall?
Is there an Oshkosh
That's
store
the building,
anywhere?
right?
Yeah, we
Does
gotta-
it still exist?
We got to do
We'll
that.
take you over to Tractor Supply. We'll get you some.
Tractor Supply,
Yeah,
there
we'll
you
get
go.
I'm
you
just
to
waiting
Tractor
for
Supply.
Tim and Tim to get the Stetsons game
Oh,
going.
oh,
They
I
could-
hope so.
They could have some fun with that. Yeah.
No,
Hopefully
I
they
like,
get some
I like the
hats.
overalls. I'm digging
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but a fun episode. I think
Yeah.
that about covers our thoughts. Any other things
Think
you want
so.
to closing thoughts, remarks to say? We're good.
Did we was next week the cats episode?
Yes,
Is
we
that
can talk about
The
that.
confirmed?
kittens.
Okay.
Oh, it's so
This
It'll
will
cute.
be
be
okay.
wild.
I like the dog episode.
I know,
better,
right?
but
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm more of a cat person, so
Okay.
I'm very excited about
And I
the
love
kitten
them both,
episode.
so I'm
Yeah.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did look like mostly kittens, so they are
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
cuter.
And this is going to be fun because you can kind of train a dog to follow you or do a
Yeah.
trick. You can't
It's just
train
gonna
a
be
kitten,
chaos.
especially a kitten. You
Yeah,
can't
there's
train
an
it.
expression, herding cats.
So the chaos is something to look forward to for sure. So,
Yeah,
but
that'll
we'll
be
be here
interesting.
at Atlanta Bird Code TV reviewing it soon. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you then. Bye bye.
Bye.